G'day, I'm Stephen Spry and welcome back to my Transport Fever 2 map editor series, The Making of OXG Rosteo TF2. And no, we're not sitting high up on a mountain next to the cabin that I promised in the last episode, but we're high up, certainly, and we're sitting next to something extraordinary. Up near where the palace should go by the looks of it. Yes, and look. It's some sort of Neolithic monument. Well, Shukabar would be happy if I didn't include some sort of attempt at including Stone Age or Neolithic monuments of some description, and this is obviously just a single rock that's been placed with the Build with Collision mod in a circle. And to get that circle, well, I made a roundabout out of the road to use it as a guide. Nice. Well, what about the rest of the map? It's looking rather is right. Trees everywhere. Yep, it's looking rather complete. Oh, does that mean we're going to have a tour? No. No tour. No. Just having a look at some of the features that we still needed to complete. I don't need to show you trees again, because they're everywhere. They're all over the place, and they're scattered up the top, thin up the top, like my hair, and no, we're not going to say thicker down the bottom, because that just sounds weird. Oh, God. Look, there was one thing that I needed to work on. Right? Well, several, two actually. Farms and rivers. So let's have a look at the farms. Right, on the eastern upstream side of the map is the township of Maracunda, and here's the farm layout here. Now, last time I left you looking at this, we simply had very thick hedgerows. Now, these were lining the roads, and I didn't like them. They were too thick. But anyway, I've put in various bits of field painting. Okay, but over here, yes, over here I've done thinner versions of the hedgerows, made out of the common hazel, and I think that looks a lot better. And it's just field painting, lots of corn, yep, different styles of grass. I think that's just pretty natural. I'm not sure, can't remember now. One of these is cutted grass. Is that the cutted grass? Doesn't look very cutted. Must be this one then. Yes, I suppose that could be regarded as cutted. And then if you carefully overlay some dirt with this tool, this brush, you get ploughed fields, sort of. Right. Oh, it looks like lettuce is growing or something. Yeah, not quite sure what's in there. Not quite sure what's in there either, but that's simply with the grass background with the darker grass overlaid. So you can fiddle around with different colours, different backgrounds, different coloured stripes, and then you can just have plain fields with wheat or corn or I think this one's just simply dead grass and alpine grass blended in. Oh, okay. And that one, just dirt, sort of sprinkled over the top of stuff, not full strength dirt. So that's the farming area, huge farming area. And I relented and extended the terraced area. Oh my goodness me. This is a huge terraced grove. My God, it's very wonky. Yeah, well, these lemon trees, they were very hard to place. But we've got terraces and terraces and terraces and more of beautiful lemon trees. Lovely, lovely. And speaking of fruit trees, well, they're fruit, over here high up in the hills above Merba, is the township, the apple township of Ballatta. Really? Ballatta grows apples? It does now. Look, there we go. Orchards and orchards and orchards of apples. Naturally, however, I had to put a farm in there so that we could do something with those apples. Yeah, I've had to add a few more industries because it made sense in places. Like there wasn't a farm here, so what was the point of growing all those apples if you couldn't ship the produce out somewhere? Likewise, this quarry at Merba, it's so new it doesn't have a road yet. No. I did that because the nearest stone to here was sort of like miles away, way over there, and where was the other one? Way over here. And I thought, stone into Conmat is usually an early game thing, and there wasn't any. Not convenient. But there we go. So, yeah. When you place a farm down in the map editor, all you get's that, right? When the game places a farm down, when you're actually playing it, you get that looks absolutely, totally betterer. So, I sort of developed a technique of using that line tool, maxed with flat, full strength, and my common hazel, and boom, 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 and filled in the gap with, what's this one? Dark grass, and dead grass. Oh. And did similar at every other farm on the map, like here. Oh, that looks cute. Yeah, well, this guy's growing dark grass, lots and lots of dark grass. Presumably he's, selling turf in town somewhere. Where's the other farm? There's another farm over here. Similar idea, just with hazel hedgerows, and painted fields. And the good thing about these is you can do them on hills. So he's probably got some sheep. Well, there's trees. There's stuff for stock to shelter under. So maybe there's some sheep or cows or foxes. Oh dear, that's not good. All right, what else? Oh, here's a nice looking farm over here. Ta-dam! Right, and another farm over here on this little peninsula. I think they look quite cute. I'm quite loving that technique of hedgerows with a line tool and fill it in with painted grass. I think it looks good. It's easy to do, and just throw in a couple of trees if you want stock to shelter under something. And there was a collection of farms over here near Port Stephens, and whoa, don't they look spiffier now? All the way along, again, hedgerows, different coloured fields, blah blah blah. But the thing they needed was a food processing plant, because the closest food processing plant that was here before was in Bathurst, which for early game is just bloomin' ridiculous. So far away. Another farm. Food processing. Oh yes, here's something I've changed too. The bridge. I think I've made it about 20 or 30 metres lower than it were, which meant that this road up the mountain actually goes through a little tunnel now to do its thing. Right. Now, that's the farms. Field painting. Easy to do. And you don't have to go to this trouble with the roads if you don't want to. You can use, well, you can't use the line tool there because it's bendy, so you'd have to do the interior frame up trick with guide roads. Just leave a very faint gap. But that's them done. Now, while we were doing this area last time, there was a river that goes, up to there. Well, it goes up to there, but stuff it. I think that's enough river. More cascades, lots more cascades, a lot more painted river, yep, and another little gorgy type thing down the bottom here, with quite a spectacular waterfall, I think. It would be lovely if the water was flowing, but, oh well, you get that, or you don't get that, as the case might be. Speaking of rivers, I still had all of these rivers over here to go. And you know what? I decided I'm over rivers, so let's have a look at this one here. Just left the forest ground outline where it's supposed to be and lined the river course with trees. So we could pretend that there's something there from afar. Similar this one, just the trees. Similar this one, yeah, I know, I'm lazy, I got bored. I got so bored, I didn't even put water in here. But hang again, look. If you want to play this map, this is ready for you to come and practice your water skills. Because this river goes up to here. Nice and dry, ready to paint water in. But, by doing what I did, where did this one go? No, it wasn't that one. It must have been this one. This one came right up near Bathurst, which meant I had to protect the town with lots of by the plots so it didn't interfere with the growth coming out and taking over a fake river. And on this side too, I think. It was just ridiculous, but not as ridiculous as Wongalpong. Now Wongalpong, you might remember, had a river that went through here. Well, it's there too. Look, here we go. Ready for you to paint in water. It's dry at the moment because it hasn't rained recently. Tell yourself that. Whatever. But look, it did come all the way over to here, all the way around here, and split this town. Now this town already has enough problems with by the plot trees over here stopping it from growing up that hill, because I don't like the way transport fever grows streets up hills. But it now has plenty of room. So we've economised on the rivers, shrunk them back slightly, especially so they don't interfere with any town growth, including Mount Warning. Now Mount Warning was surrounded by rivers. You can see there's a dry riverbed down there, just waiting for water, if that's what you want to add. Possibly, I'm not quite, no, that's a ridge. That's not a creek. But this one over here, where is it? This fella, I think, I had brought it around up into the town. Oh yeah, through here, over, under a bridge, and around just up to here. Again, same problem. Too many by the plots to me interfering with natural town growth. Because this fella, this is the main river, he's done. He's done all the way down and up, but all the way down to the ocean. And that looks pretty cool. Now you might remember me raving about having a river low, river medium, river high brush. Yeah, look, most of that went out the window. I've just used my generic tree brush pretty much everywhere, except a bit thicker along the riverbanks. Okay, how'd we go with the hills? Right, okay, well, we've still got the Scots pines stopping at 400 metres. Right. I think I've still got a bit of thinning that I can do as well. Yeah. You were going to think about the rocks. How's that going? All right. All right. I want to keep these brown, which means that there's another required mod. keeping it brown because it sort of reflects on the original map idea, City Skylines map that this came from, because that was sort of brown. It wasn't the default grey that Transport Fever would have put here. But when it comes to rocks, let's have a look at the rocks. Assets, yes, rocks, right. Okay, if this is brown, then if I was to place rocks, we would need to place either the cracked rocks. Yep, okay. So let's have a look at the cracked rocks. Do a selection. Roger. Can you do a... Oh, sorry, that's a bit bright. Bit there. Still far too many. Yeah. So you would do that to thin them down. The only trouble is with the rocks, what is this bird poo that surrounds them? Ah, look at it over here, it's everywhere. And, you know, maybe it's just the green that it's on, but how would you... okay, you'd come over to light green, yep. And, no, it wasn't light green. Must have been that one then. And now, nothing's happened. Oh, hold the shift key down. You'd have to do that to all your rocks. And, you know, look what you've done now to the fields up here. Did you want that look? Did I want this look? Let's try it. This is alpine grass, you mean? Did I want that look? Sure. It is an alpine region after all. And I'd expect to see some sort of grass up the top. Nah, don't like that. Fine. What do you want me to do? Well, you haven't done anything worth saving, so open the map again. And we're back up near our Neolithic monument. Say that 3 times quickly if you can. Neolithic monument. No, I'm not going to try. Alright, I want to show you the cabin again because it's a great view from up there. But I did forget, because Jil is often forgotten. I did forget to show you. It's got pine trees. Not pine trees, you goose. They're palm trees. It's got lots of tropical trees around, and I think I've worked out why I really don't like them. These bloody things. Actually, it's these ones as well. This horrible yellow that's in the leaves. So I think Jil, before we finalise this map, might get just a new selection of trees. Because, yeah, no. Okay, let's teleport over to the cabin, which is east. East cabin. This is the one you came for. I didn't come for it. I already own it. You told me it's mine. Well, you not do the tree thing? I have to. That's what I do. You know that. Alright, here we go. Oh, you've been busy? Yeah, we trimmed that down on the last episode, and then I just went through and killed most of the biggish trees and with what was left up there, and did the same on the other side, down the other side along the water, thinking, of course, as I kept explaining, that the winds that come up from that side across the ocean up that hill would just practically kill anything that lives on the other side of that hill. Well, it's not so much the winds, is it? It's the salty air. Well, that too. But anyway, I am loving this map. Oh, Baldy here? Yep. Alright, so what else have you done? Well, I didn't have time to do anything else. By the time I added that one, those terraces up there, and carved out this river, after doing that, that's when I decided that those other rivers over there were going to remain dry. And I wasn't going to do anything up here. And I totally got my heights wrong, because this is 700, as we saw in editing, 700 plus metres high here. 800 even. God, you thought it was 5. Yeah, I did, but well. Look, that's just a very quick overview of where we're at. I still want to come in and run a fine-tooth comb over most of it, or should I say a fine-tooth eraser over most of it, and possibly thin out a lot more of these trees, and perhaps in places smooth out some coastline or rivers. But for now, these rivers over here, this whole system, look, from here all the way up to there, and this one, follow it around. It's easy with the trees. Oh my God, where's it going? Up here, it splits up into 3 little creeks, and then goes up here, and then I think this is a new extension. It is, because it didn't make sense to have these bridges here unless there was something coming down through a creek. Well, fair enough. Oh, and here, up into the... Very comprehensive, that creek, isn't it? Yeah. So there we go. There's not much more to do, only some fine-tuning. I would also like to have a couple of hours of test play with this, just to see what happens. You've only got your generic trees along here. I kind of did like the idea. That one goes in far enough. We probably should have the river low mix along the riverbank with the tropicals in it. Oh, I know what else you haven't done. Here we go. I noticed that you haven't yet done the roadside trees. See, you've got lots of places to do. That's this lot, by the way. Them. I think they're fairly appropriate out here in the flatter pasture land to have strips. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily worry about it here because you've got the forest all along one side. But these roads that run through the pasture, sure. I think that roadside biome type tree would work quite nicely. Roger. Frame weight's still going good. It just dropped from 21 down to 12. Well, don't go up so high and you're fine. Fair enough. Well, there we go. Probably one of my favourite views on the map is about top of the waterfall, looking up that valley. Would you like to Alt-G it? There. And the frame rate is blisteringly good. Well, you're not doing any work on this damn map at the moment, are you? No, but gee whiz, this reminds me of somewhere. I've been here. Been to this valley. I'm sure of it. Coming over the hill. Looking out. And don't forget the harbour views from over here. And conveniently, hotel, restaurant, with beer gardens, outdoor tables. Blackett has it all. Look at that view from Blackett. Just no way of getting here. Well, I can see somebody playing the game would need to place a harbour. Probably right there. They probably would. Basin view. Okay. How's our... What was this one called? Cooler Bar. That's it. And the gorge. Yeah, you quite like these painted rivers, don't you? Well, you don't. You only see this sort of water on a Transport Fever 2 map. You never see anything going up into the hinterland like that one does, or this one does and winds around, or that one does, or nothing over here. This fella, it comes up a little way. That fella comes up all the way. You never see anything like that on a TF2 map. And, you know, there's probably a very good reason why. It's to do with the AI doing what it wants to do, wherever it wants to do it. Okay, a little bit of extra road here around the outskirts of town. Yeah, and this one, just to encourage it to grow where I want it to grow. So there we go. That is pretty much done. Started out as a City Skylines map of Roslyn Peninsula, crafted with a height map from Lisbon, blended together beautifully by Shukabawa, and then I stole his map. No, I didn't. He let me take the height map. It's all done legal, it's all above board, and imported it into Transport Fever 2, and you've seen that in this series of the making of OXG Rostea for TF2. Do you like it? I love it. I want to play it. Well, I've got to have a test drive of it before I plonk it on the workshop. There's that forest you liked. I'm not liking this road. Yeah, I'm going to have a test drive to make sure things behave the way they should behave in a game. As I said, a couple of hours. Make sure everything doesn't... Oh, you've still got by the plots along here at the back of town. Yes, well, I do not want the town going up the hill. And playing has happened sufficiently. It's been on play long enough for most of these towns to start or complete their initial growth. Okay, I'm going to smooth that. I don't know. Probably shouldn't I? Well, by the plot stopped them, didn't it? Yes. But as I said, a couple of hours playtime, just making sure the map behaves, that it does what it needs to do, that the hills aren't too steep. And yeah, okay, I wasn't true to the original height map. I have flattened great amounts of areas to make the building... Look, there's two different sorts of building. In City Skylines, you build this, right? So you can control the angle of the dangle, and with mods you can smooth out the roads, and so steep bits aren't necessarily a problem. But here, well, the AI controls most of the, let's say 95% of the town building, unless you come in and play whack-a-mole, as I've done several times to these towns to spearhead the growth, or to in certain directions, or to put new streets down for the AI. Follow this, come down here, come down, look, there's an industrial area down here you can use. Or kill those because they don't want it, you know what I mean. So, I much prefer this game when it's not, that's okay, it's not going up here. I don't want it up in the hills. It's going to look a bit silly. We've got a bit of it up and a oop, a whoosh and a woo happening as this one heads up the hill, but still not stupid yet. I will need to revisit all of these as the... yeah, see what you mean. Well, that's starting to get a bit high. And there's still so much more this town can do. What have we got here? Commercial. It could fill in this area. So I don't think this road is long for the world. Grow over here first, man. You're playing the game. You control it. You tell it where you want it to grow. Hello, Nambucca. Nice little town you got here. Alright. Where are we going? Well, you never did go for a ride along that road. I don't want to. I don't think anyone is. Fine. Look, Little Bay. Another nice little isolated seaside village. Well, it's not isolated. It is attached to Wonglepong and around the other side of the mountain. And this farm, yeah, well, that farmer's got a damn long way to get to the nearest food place, which is there. See? Oh, gee. Yep, Bathurst. He's got a bloody long way to take his crops. Well, he could come up here. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Alright. My next video, I think, will report back on my initial playthrough and then show you how to upload this to the Steam Workshop for sharing with other people's. So, yeah. Swamp comes up alright. I mean, it looks swampy from a distance. Maybe... I don't know. Swampy enough. Who says banana trees wouldn't grow all over that place? Don't they usually grow on hillsides? Who knows where banana trees grow? I certainly don't. I am not a veggie expert. Vegetation, that is. I just like cruising around, having a look at these places. I just spend hours killing time looking at this map. Well, that's what you got to do. Have a play, have a fiddle, yeah. See if there's anything that you don't like. Not too sure about it. You'd have some sort of trees around there, surely. Entirely up to you. Yeah, you mean up to me? Well, it's your map, mate. Or you could just leave it, yeah, and leave something for the player to do. Well, I've got to do these, that's for sure. Got to do some more roadside trees. Maybe just along the main road here. Up into, where are we? Toukley. Roger. Glen Alpine. You don't look very Glen Alpine-ish. Yeah, you look cool. Alright. Well, that, my friends, is... Oh my gosh. Well, you can put fields on hills, why not? One solitary tree in the middle of nowhere, and well, they're all over here. Cows have got to get shelter from that hot tropical sun somehow. Well, yes, to answer your question you asked half an hour ago, I do like it. Good. Then you'll have no problem hitting that subscribe button. Oh, you got it wrong. Sorry. That did, didn't I? You've done this 10 times now in this series. You should be able to get it right. Sure, look, you'll have no problem if you liked it of hitting the like button and subscribing and ticking the bell so that you can come back and see what I do next time with the making of OXG Rosteo TF2. Or, when it goes up on the workshop, the playthrough. Oh, you're going to have a playthrough, are you? Yeah, duh. Why not? Love this map. And I'm going to test my Mac. I'm going to put it to the limits to see whether it can drive a large map. Very large map. My God. Yeah, righto. We might only get a couple of episodes. No, we won't. You've got that new laptop there. You can play it on that if you have to. Right. Well, until next time, it's hooroo from Balatta. Yeah. Okay. Have an apple. And it's goodbye from me too. I'm loving these fruit trees. We don't have any peaches anywhere yet, because they're on that tropical selection of trees. Okay, what do we got? Apples here. Where the heck did the lemons go? Oh, they're way over here. Where? Oh, up there. No, over here. This large map is going to kill you. How are you going to remember where everything is? I don't know. Come back and next time and find out, maybe. I don't know. I'll do that. All right, mate. Bye.